Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back. Mondays to a nice live show of gardening topics. Say hello in the comments. Let us know if you can hear us. Hopefully, sound is okay. I've got the mic right in front of us, so that's nice. So, hello, Adam Heath. How are you doing there, sir? Who else? We've got Norman Bosted. Naturally, JB, the old boy, the young boys in the house there. Naturally, JB, thank you very much for dropping in there, lad. Damn Rabbit, how you doing there? Matthew Cloak, Dano's Universe. Hello, everyone. Susan Gardner. Hello, Susan. Oh, from Las Vegas. Oh, Susan. Ginger Pete from Derby. We've got Brian Morrison. First question, which is the best compost? Oh, wait, Brian, give us a second, man. Put your questions. Actually, we'll do a little change as well a little bit later on, but put your questions there in capitals. So that would be good. Hello, Mark Francis. Hi, Mark, lad. How are we doing? Hello, Victoria Baker. How are you doing? Hey, all. Hello. Tara Blinkenhorn. Blinkenhorn. Kevin Hackett. Hello, Kevin there. Oh, Marion. Nice to have you on, Marion, again. We have got, let me bring Audrey in there. Let's unmute. Now I've lost Stephen. Are you there, Audrey? Hello, Audrey.
I am here.
There we go. We go. Right. Now, wait on, there's Steve there as well. Let's, I think Steve is still muted. Let's bring him. Are you there, Stephen? Are you muted?
Hello.
Oh, there
Hello.
he is.
I've got a bit lost there.
You see, he's got a nice neck shirt on. You got a lovely short on there, lad. Well done.
I had a green one on. It was messing around with the background. I was kind of disappearing just ahead.
Right, let's see if I can put myself on there. So, yes, we have the team back. So, hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. So, questions. What I was going to do this time is in capitals, but not questions, tips. So if the audience has got if the chat has got any tips for us, because you know what I mean, bloody hell, I need every bit of help, tip, and bloody going. So yes, if you've got a tip, write it in capitals, but I'll tell you when. So find your tip and I'll tell you when, because we'll have other things to talk about first. So, Audrey, are you well?
I'm great, thank you.
Now, listen. Audrey has got her channel up and has got... Hey, go on there, round of applause. I think more than a round of applause. Yeah, so Audrey, tell her what it is. I tell you what, I'll put a link in the chat.
Oh, thank you.
I think, that's actually the link to the broadcast. No, that's no good, that one. Wait on, get rid of that.
But yeah, let's get everyone in.
What else? Let's find it. Or if you could put it in the chat, that would be great, if you don't mind.
Sure. See if I can do that. You're stretching my abilities to work with.
Right, well, anyway, Audrey, first one, which was, you've gotten the first one out. What do you think of it? Was it good?
I think it was instructionally okay. It didn't all turn out the way I wanted, but I finally thought, you know what? I just need to post this. So I did.
That's the way.
It said what I wanted it to say, yes.
You've got to just get it done. Have you done any more since that one?
No, but I am working on one right now. I'm going to try to get a couple out this week.
Right. I mean, aim for, honestly, two a week, and that would be, you know what I mean, you'll sharp kind of... Because me, like I say, Steve actually even gave me a talking to a month or two ago, just like I was waning a little bit from I was like quite happy in the part-time celebrations and didn't realise I was losing it. Just point the camera, click record, and there's always something you can talk about. And there's always something that people want to hear. Do you know what I mean? And I know you kind of think, well, what can I say? But if you come over just naturally, that's it. Just do something natural. And it's like all of a sudden you discover, even if you're talking about a weed, you just mind clicks in and you ramble. And people want to hear it.
Of course they do.
Yeah. So Audrey...
Well, I figure go ahead. Sorry.
Whose was the model hands on the...
Oh, That is my friend Shalmar. So she is a garden helper that I have, and her two
Brilliant.
kids are little garden helpers. So we were going to see some things that we're going to be doing for them this summer too.
Right.
So they're going to get their own little garden beds out by mine, and they're adorable.
Brilliant.
That's fun.
So yes, she's my hand model. Yes.
So what's it called then, Audrey, for people to find?
It's called Real Food Comes Dirty.
Let's see if I can. Have you seen it, Steve? Have you?
I have, yeah. I went on there and commented.
I'm just going to try and look for it, to be honest. See if I
Watch
can.
the whole video. It's interesting. It's interesting method of growing things because of the weather and the climate that Audrey's in. It's an interesting way of sowing seeds.
Yeah, I since you don't really have to, you can do it in a polytunnel, which I don't think we could do. We get so cold.
Yeah.
There was a lot of those seeds, Audrey, right? I've just posted it in the chat there, so if anyone wants to kind of, go on and subscribe to Audrey's show. That'll be fantastic. But there was a lot of things names I didn't recognize, Audrey. So is it just because you're putting seeds in winter, basically, and there was snow and everything there, so it's got to be a certain band of seeds that like the cold, surely.
No, it's anything that can grow in your area.
So I could put a tomato seed in there and it would grow.
A lot of people do that.
Wow, man.
Now, I wouldn't put that out in the middle of December, but I sure would be putting it out now. But I babysit my tomatoes on the inside. I don't risk outside because I want them, right? So I want to put out a nice big plant.
Audrey, I've got about 60 tubs in the allotment now, all with these seeds in. Are you saying you're just cheating for tomatoes?
I am not cheating. No, I'm not cheating. I'm just not winter sowing them. But a lot of people do.
What do you think about that then, Steve?
I was just wondering, is it a case of sowing them all in one day, getting them all done and out the way, and then when the temperature's right, you'll see the seeds coming up, and then you can deal with them from there. So once the temperature's warm enough.
Right.
Yeah.
And do the seeds not, because it seems with me, a lot of things just don't germinate. So, and I'm presuming it's down to like dampness or heat or something like that. Do you have a pretty good germination rate?
Yeah, it's like a little greenhouse. So it's just when nature wants to start sending up the shoots, that's when it happens. So you just kind of stick your head in the jugs every week or so and see what's sprouting.
I like the idea, mind you. I like the idea of like the compost, like the condition of it has to be in as you're putting it in. Do you know what I mean? Because it did look way damper than what I was used to. So obviously that's its kind of little.
Well, it's just its little environment that you're creating for it. Now we had about 4 jugs that are already sprouting, and last night I was telling you we had -9 Celsius. So I went out and put a blanket on them, just so I don't know. It seemed very cold if you've already got green on. So I just put a little blanket over them, and hopefully they'll be fine.
But we've just had a little chat off, like backstage, you know what I mean, in the green room, where you're saying your frost dates and that is like last frost dates pretty soon.
Yeah, our last frost date is typically April 22nd.
Wow.
And that seems crazy when we have such cold weather right now. Mm-hmm. But I think weather is just crazy these days. But,
that must be a guide, because.
Well, it's always a guide. I mean, that's always a guide. But we could have a frost in May, but it's not going to be a hard frost. Mm-hmm. It'll be like maybe it's going down to 30 for us.
What's 30?
30. Cold. Oh, don't make me. Okay, I can do Celsius to Fahrenheit the other way.
I know you said that last time.
Yeah, I'm really bad at going.
Just after getting them Carolina Reapers knocked on the first night I put them up, you know what I mean? It's just
you put those out. You put those out really early.
I don't think I can't remember when I did. But...
Well, I think peppers like an eggplant. They like really warm weather.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think you're bad if you wait longer to put those out, because they will get knocked for sure. I even had I can't see it. I had a little cheat sheet for Fahrenheit. What is it? Maybe -1 Celsius, 30 here?
Right.
Cold.
Still would
No,
kind
because
of knock it. Still
32
would knock
is your
my
zero.
stuff.
Yes. Yes.
Aye. So, Stephen, you've had a little special day today as well, or just certainly have. Is it 16K you've hit in audience figures now, or subscriber figures?
Wow.
No, I've just passed you, Tony. It's 18.
Wow. Have you?
No, it's 16.
16.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
I'm
man.
over the moon.
How everyone? Round of applause for
Yes.
the old boy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Just
Well
honestly.
deserved.
And I think as well, because it'd be always nice to kind of have a race for her to get to 20, but there's no way I can beat you now, I think. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, and I love it that you've done, well, I'm hoping you've done kind of what I said, and you're still doing like the search engine, because that is just killing, you know what I mean? Your figures are just kind of away. Do you know what I mean? And once you hit, say, 20, I think 25 comes quicker, and 30 comes even quicker, and it's just like, so whatever you do, I mean, there's no talent, it's all search engine optimization.
So what is my next milestone? I'm at 13. What do you think?
Well, first up, you've got to do the videos,
Yes.
Audrey. But honestly, start now, and Steve will give you some tips, I'm sure he will, on like search engine. So your thumbnail, your title, your description, and your tags have got to be so well structured. And if you can start off early, it's too late for me. I'm kind of minor all kind of. So if you start off early, so say Steve, someone's looking for carrots. Steve's got it so like skewed towards him, which is not how you're meant to do it, that his come to the surface and search.
Yeah.
And then obviously you've got to have talent, you know what I mean? But he's proven. I could tell straight away when he was commenting on my comments. Do you know what I mean? Kind of the history he knows on veg. It's just, you know what I mean. So Steve, again.
Thank you.
It'll be. So Steve, what you doing then? Oh, that's right. Have you had a heavy weekend of barra humping?
No.
What?
Has it
No,
not been? I thought you were getting filling them beds.
I was supposed to be. That's delayed. It's going to be, well, this next weekend, hopefully. One or two things have cropped up, and I spent one morning meeting somebody, and that turned up something new, which hopefully is going to come good. I can't really tell you about that.
Oh, see, he's getting too big for his own britches now, man.
No, it's a new compost stuff that somebody's given to me, but it's the origins of this stuff, and I don't know if it's any good yet, so I don't want to mention it, because you know what it's like. If you mention something, people go off and buy it just because Steve mentioned it. And if it's rubbish, that will come back on me. So I've got to do some tests on it first, do the old bean test and grow a couple of things on it through the season and just see what it's like. Then I can mention it, you know.
Well, it's funny. I was talking to one of the lads on the allotment, and he went to an allotment shop. Now, we've got an allotment shop in South Tyneside, but it's one of these things that's hidden away in an estate, and it's so hard to find. 20 years of an allotment, I've never been there, But he came back with two bags of Keith Siglington's multi-purpose compost. Now, Keith Siglington's Egremont way, which is a little
just down the road from me.
Aye, you know what I mean? And I remember my mum and I've used as well, his Keith Siglington's soil conditioner was like, it's just like putting like showering your garden in like gold. Do you know what I mean? The stuff. So I was desperate for some of that. Couldn't find this freaking shop anywhere. So I went back over to, it's called Emily's, you know where I went last year. So I'm getting the clover. I think I got 6 bags of the clover compost still, which is actually the peat one. But it says peat friendly. What did it say on the bag? And I thought, I wonder if you've just changed that for like today's kind of environment and everything like that. But the guy who sells it,
Yeah.
he had like a puffer jacket with clover on. I thought, they've keeping
Oh,
you
yeah.
sweet. So I don't know if I thought it was getting banned, but I don't know if they may be changing it because it says it's nothing to. It said something on the package. I wish I took a photograph of it. Like it's okay for the environment they're not disturbing certain areas, but
Right.
whether that's the case or not, they're still digging up peat, So
Well, I mean, this peat-free thing at the minute that we're all aiming for, I mean, it's the right thing to do. I think everybody knows and understands that. But I think they should be doing it when the compost is made that replaces it. Because at the moment, I tried 5 or 6 last year, and I've tried 3 this year so far, all different brands. And they've all been absolutely hopeless. They're atrocious, the peat-free composts. I'm all for using it. But that's why I'm trying this other thing, because that is definitely peat-free. We'll see how that rock and rolls. But from the reports that I've got from the person that gave me the stuff, apparently it's like rocket fuel. So
well, I must admit that that clover it's almost like cheating. Do you know what I mean? It's just you put the things in, and even for me, the kind of the things germinate. You know what I mean? So.
Well, that Jack's Magic is supposed to be a good one as well. Have you tried that one, Jack's
Magic? Yes, I did. I got a couple of years ago, but
that's really good.
But as it happens, and I should have listened to you probably then. Maybe you were like commenting then. I just found it like lumpy, but I should have sieved it, obviously. But it was all like bits and pieces, and I was expecting something wonderful to come out, and it was okay. You know what I mean? Maybe if I sieved it and put some perlite or vermiculite in, it might have been like 100 times better. I don't know.
What I think you were looking for was something where you open the bag and pull out a tray of seedlings, really.
Where is that? There's a market for that somewhere. You know what I mean? Right, well, look at this. Wait on, let's just change cameras. I'll put my glasses on to show you. So, look at these are my banana shallots. I had to, funny enough, I've been in the garden for the last few days. I had to I just realised I had muck under my fingernails still. Oh. So these are my banana shallots, and these were sown. Look at this. We're going to get into a big discussion about this, Steve, soon. 15th of March. Now, these were sown, and then they were in the kitchen. Now,
right.
I kind of bring them in the living room because obviously the living room's a little bit warmer, but there's 5 along there, and there's basically a sporadic like showing of seeds. So I did what Steve told us, and I was able to germinate in like small. Look at the difference. So these ones were sown on the 23rd, and I've got 2 tubs of them like that. So my kitchen is way too cold. These were like, what temperature was it? 21. Now I haven't got, and I know you keep on mentioning, Steve, I haven't got a kind of a place for a greenhouse, but these were sown 21 degrees. Now look at this as well. These were in the living room. Celeriac. Look at that, man. Can you see? You might not be able to see it all weird on that one. So I'll just put down to there. This is the celeriac coming.
Right.
So I'm quite pleased with that. If I'm honest, it's
well, they're coming.
Well, are yours bigger than that? Have you sown yours yet?
I haven't yet. No, I haven't got round to them. I've been so busy with other stuff. I just haven't had a second to myself, really. But I'll be doing some more sowing over this next 2 or 3 days while it's cold.
Audrey, what about you? Have you got celeriac up like that?
I have no. I have some that I've already potted on. I have about 9, but I took a trick that Steve talked about last time about parsley, to put the hot boiling water that's just kind of not fully boiling, but just a little cooler in first. I'm doing a test with celeriac with the same thing.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm doing 1 row of celeriac with that and 1 row without, because I did not get enough in my first sowing. So I thought, well, if it works for parsley, maybe it works for celery.
Well, it was like I say, I think that was the the 16th of March. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, it's one of them things where you think they're not working. It's not, you know what I mean? I know patience is a virtue, but it's just like, you only get, Steve, because you say like keep on resewing and resewing, but you only get this certain window. Now, if I actually hadn't listened to you and hadn't done them banana shallots, you miss it, you know. And once you miss that window, I think you're always trying to catch up with yourself. So
I think he's still all right for a few days yet, really. I mean, normally in past years, I normally sow my shallots the end of March anyway. So, I mean, I might sow a second batch myself just for the heck of it.
well, I was kind of,
To show you how it's done.
I think I was kind of wanting to actually do it at the beginning of March. Do you know what I mean? But I thought, well, I'll do the middle of March, and then it's all of a sudden it's kind of now nearly April, and we're bloody away. Audrey, are you been sowing anything else, lass?
Kale the celeriac, like I just said, I sold a lot of herbs, parsley, thyme, a whole bunch of herbs. Yeah, my Swiss chard I just started, beets, radishes. So yeah, I got a lot going just yesterday.
Wow. What round of applause. It's what like Steve mentioned there, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just life gets on top of you, and all of a sudden it's like another week later and you realize, God, I need to get, and you end up almost, me personally, kind of rushing to get this, you know what I mean? Like plant the seeds and they're done, that's it. Thank God I've getting them sown kind of thing. And sometimes it's just like, just relax, Tony. But I can't see that.
Well, it should still be fun too.
Oh
shouldn't
yes,
it?
but it's
Right.
it's when it's when things don't germinate. That's what I don't mind things failing in the garden. It's when they don't germinate. I think, what have I done wrong? Do you know what I mean? And
I think probably temperature is your issue, Tony. And one thing I've been making a point of in the last few videos is you can have a set temperature, like the flower rudbeckia. To germinate, it needs a temperature of about 25 degrees, but you can germinate it at 20 degrees. It will just take a bit longer in time for it to come through. The 25 degrees is the ideal temperature, and they'll come up nice and quick. So if you can provide the ideal temperature, it's perfect. If you can't, they'll come. It'll just be a little bit slower.
I think germination is the kind of one of the kind of critical backbones. You know, once the little things pop their heads up, it's almost like, right, they're there. The babies are here. I can kind of drag them over to the finishing line or whatever. But it's that critical stage, you know what I mean? If like they don't germinate, or like saying, knowing what a certain plant likes. I've got some basil away. Now I set me the first batch of it. I set it the temperature at, I think it was 23, 24. It came up in a few days. But because I've got other things in there now, I've had to kind of lower the temperature. It's about a week and a half in this second batch. Same seed, same compost, just hasn't germinated yet. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, that's the kind of little bit difficult thing I think a lot of people will kind of hit. You know what I mean? Just certain plants, certain temperatures.
Yeah, well, I've got as you know, I've got that main propagator I've got in my greenhouse, the heated base, the heated bed, sand bed. And that I set at a high temperature, about 25, and it stays roughly there all the time. My heat mat on the bench is set at about 18 degrees. So I'm covering those sorts of different temperature ranges. And the seeds that I sow on it will be ideal to, in those temperatures, well, maybe 3 or 4 degrees either side. And if anything's a bit cooler or a bit warmer, I might use my kitchen windowsill or something. So I'm just putting stuff in an area which is in the right range, not necessarily the right temperature.
Well, this is what I'm going to get to next. So I'm going to have a chat with Audrey and Steve. So please, if you want, give us a tip. I'm telling you this now, put a tip in capitals so I can see it in capitals, and then we'll talk about, if you've got a good tip that we want to know, put it in capitals, and then we'll talk about it. So Steve and Audrey, I want to change up my system, because that's what I was kind of talking to you, Steve, about. I know, what do you call your big bench called Big Nasty or something? Is that?
The beast.
The beast, that's right. 'Cause I was thinking, is that because my big bed at the allotment's big nasty? So the beast, I want to somehow, and I'm going to do it over a year, and I'm actually getting sponsored by Hydro Lights, they're sending out. So I'm kind of booked in to do 6 videos with Mars Hydro. They're sending out these £500 lights, but
Right.
what I'm kind of trying to, and I'll have to kind of talk with you on the phone, Steve, and everything like that, but your bed, well, your setup, does that, that must, if you're aiming for 25 degrees and 18, that's pumping out a lot of electric as well then, is it?
Do you know what? I've never looked at it. I've never looked at what it costs, because at the end of the day, I don't go out drinking. I don't have any other hobbies apart from gardening. Gardening is everything I do. So whatever it costs.
So that's the best. Don't look at it. Don't look at them bills. I don't even open my mail. Do you believe that? I never open a single mail to me. My wife's always got to open it. So another thing I was going to ask. Sorry, Audrey, I'm kind of just trying to get my head around how I'm going to tackle this. So your beast mat table bench has got polythene around it to keep the heat in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's got sand in, and then there must be some sort of heat wire there.
Yeah.
How do you water your plants?
Straight as you would do ordinary, because what I've got is it's a bench table, and I've built sides on it which are 6 inches deep around this table to make essentially a big tray. Then I lined it with plastic, and I was very careful to staple it into all the corners. Then I lined that with polystyrene, that's 1 inch polystyrene to keep the heat in. And then I put a layer of sand down. I coiled this wire, heating wire, backwards and forwards, put more sand on top. And then I've got a loose cover on top, a loose plastic cover, which is what catches the water. The sand has to stay moist underneath, so if any drips do get underneath, it's not a problem. The cable is sealed, so it doesn't cause a problem, but you want to keep all the moisture in that top area. I've got photographs I can send you all, so you can see it all clearly anyway.
I like to say I'm going to have to give you like a call as well, because I couldn't get my head around. Like, you must still have water lying there, do you? Or, because you're on about, say, bottom watering. So how do you do bottom watering?
Well, I do it several ways. In about another 3 or 4 weeks' time, when the tomatoes are bigger, they'll drink up any water I throw at that beast. So the plastic cover on the top is laying on the top, but it's also pushed up the sides as well. So any water that sits in there, the tomatoes will drink. That's not a problem.
Right.
But if I'm doing under watering from the bottom, I've got a couple of trays just outside the greenhouse, and I'll take a couple of trays out at a time, put them in the trays, water them while I'm doing something else in the greenhouse, and then just keep swapping them over. It takes me about 10-15 minutes a day.
I think I might have to have a little drive over to Cockermouth and kind of see what this beast is like. Because I've got my hut there, I've got 3 benches, which I could actually quite easily build up. So they're like the deep inside. But I just couldn't get my head around when you're watering, it's all just going to run on the floor, which is kind of, it's okay in a greenhouse, but it's not ideal. I've kind of spilt more water in there than God knows what, but I was thinking, where's this bloody water go? Do you know what I mean? So it seems like it doesn't go anywhere, and it's eventually evaporating.
We'll go to the plants. What I'll do, Tony, is I'll make just a little shoddy sort of personal private video for you, just so you can get an idea of what's going on, and then you can decide how you want to do it from there. But if I put one of them together for you, nice and quick, then you'll be able to see what's going on.
That would be lovely. That would be lovely. Right, let's just go through and see if I can find some.
Tony, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Have you considered moving your growing station into Junior's room since he's not around?
You see. I've asked that. I've even, like I say, I'm kind of, well, you can see that I'm in the living room there now with Junior comes back, and it would be quite easy to do it. But it's now, becoming. It's now we're even over like taking over that as like our kind of, because I do the odd day I have to actually go to work, and I can do work from home. My wife's doing her work from home. It's now like the ironing board's set up there, and now I thought the fairies did all the ironing, but apparently my wife does it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of set up there like it's already now a used busy room. Do you know what I mean? And it could have been a lovely one. You know what I mean? Like ideal. And I was even thinking about, if I could maybe even hire a little kind of shop studio thing. I mean, they're not that dear around here. You know what I mean? For like a one room kind of outside, but see how it.
What tip there, Tony? We've seen that.
What was the tip?
Biggest tip: tell the wife all seed trays, polytunnels were free. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Right, let's just see.
Go ahead. I do all mine in my home. And
So you're the boss, though, Audrey. It's a totally different setup, man. I'm not the boss. I'm like there's four in this house. I'm bottom. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm bottom. So
okay.
what says in your house? I mean, what you say goes.
Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I think the first video I'm putting up, the next one, is gonna be a tour of how I do it in the house.
That would be nice. That would be interesting, to be honest. So
and I use capillary matting, so I only have to water my seeds once a week. It's lovely.
Yeah, even better.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I missed that, Audrey, because I was looking at what did you say there?
I said I have my trays on capillary matting, so I only have to water once a week.
Right. See, that's a good idea. I think I might be able to pull it off, but like I said, I've also got the kind of the power issues to try and somehow get my head round. But yes. Anyway, Susan Garner says Miracle Grow is the best compost. Have you, Steve? You'll have heard of Miracle Grow.
Yeah, I've got two at the in our back porch here at the back door. I've got two bags of that waiting to go. That's the tomatoes will go into that when I pot them on.
You'll not have that over your way, Audrey, do you?
Oh yeah, Miracle grows everywhere here.
All right.
I personally don't use it, but I just don't like Miracle Grow fertilizer. But they now have an organic line. I have not tried it yet.
Right, my Essex homestead allotment he's just said he's just potted on 40 celeriac. Yeah, how many have I got in here, to be honest? There's quite a few there, to be honest.
You'll get 40 out of there.
There's a couple of 100 there, so hopefully. Naturally, JB, Steve's in the house there. He's asking a question for me. How's the onion white rot on the pot these days? Oh, still have issues. I have it every year. It's funny. I was talking to Mark, one of the lads on the allotment, and it's obviously across the allotments because he says he gets it. Do you know what I mean as well? And it's just like it does knock you. You know what I mean? It's a sickening thing. But I'm sure someone mentioned in the comments of a video once, like maybe pull the onion a little bit earlier or the garlic a little touch earlier. Is that something?
I've not heard of that one before. That's a new one on me. But then I don't get white rot, so I wouldn't know.
Wow. You'll not get it as well, Audrey, do you not?
I don't, yeah. Or I haven't.
William's asking William Long. Don't forget, put tips in. We'll add tips today. But William Long's asking, question, how long have Tony and Steve had their allotments? Well, I got mine in the year we moved here, and now Ellie's 26, so we're probably coming up about 25 years we've had ours.
Wow.
You know, But it's just funny enough, there was people, you know where, if anyone can know my garden, the wall that had the tomatoes on, you know, the wall at the back of the polytunnel.
Yeah.
Well, directly over from there, on the left-hand side more, where the hut, my hut is, over that wall, there's new people just moved in there. So hello, everyone, if they've just, because I said we're on a live show. It took them 15 years on a waiting list.
Wow.
15 years to get that plot.
Flipping heck.
Wow. And I was like, do you know what I mean? And
We've got empty plots on our site. There's about 3 empty plots on our
Is
site.
there?
We can't fill them. Can't fill them.
I just was gutted when you think, God, you've had to wait that long. You know what I mean? And as she said, it was like an old email, which it probably was, you know what I mean? And she said, I just checked it for the sake of it. And there was this email from the council saying there is a plot available. You know,
Wow.
so 15, yeah. Wow, it's a long time to...
Yeah.
You'd given
I've
up. And,
changed the email address 3 times in that time.
I know.
Crumbs.
Let's just see. Graham Smith, my plants, peppers, grow faster and bigger in hydroponic towers instead of soil.
Oh.
Right? Now, I'm not... I wonder what you mean by hydroponic towers. You mean just I wonder if that's just like shelving?
I think I did see something about this a little while ago. This guy had these great big, they were about this thick white towers with little pockets.
Yep.
And he was growing all kinds of things to save space. He was growing upright.
All right.
But, I've never tried hydroponics myself. There's a guy around the corner from me keeps inviting me around there to have a look at his hydroponics, but I must admit I've been a bit scared.
You come out with a
Come
bag
round
of,
and see my
come out with a bag of like, 10 kilos of like the best Colombian hash in Penrith. medicinal. So is he doing all that in his house then, Steve? Is he?
He's got sorry, excuse me. He's got a greenhouse in his back garden. He's actually from the continent, and he grows a little bit differently. His greenhouse is actually sunk into the garden, and he says that keeps things warmer for longer.
Oh, wow.
So, like I say, it's one of those things I've been meaning to go around and have a look, because he does everything on the alternate side. All those stuff you look at on YouTube and you think, no, that's not for me. Well, he does it, and he makes it work for him.
Wow. Sunken greenhouse.
Yeah, it's quite strange.
Right, Graham Smith saying here, Lidl are currently selling Tomorite for $3.49 for a litre bottle. Cheapest he's found. Now, I actually don't think I've got anything this year at the moment. Have you got your Tomorite yet, lad? Are you? Oh, you're bloody comfrey leaves, aren't you?
Proper stuff.
Yeah, comfrey leaves and a few like herbs and magic sprinkled on it.
I'll tell you what, for £3 you can go onto eBay and buy 5 comfrey plants for that, or little cuttings, grow your own plants, and you'll make your own Tomorite for the rest of your life.
Stephen, when you've got an allotment the size of a football pitch, it's quite easy to do that, you know what I mean? Let's just see, grown in Scotland, put your seed trays above your boiler to germinate. That is a great... Let's just pull everyone back up there. That's a great thing, but when you're kind of like me, you know what I mean? There's like, or like all of it, there's so much to kind of germinate, to get away. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even if I just kind of go back on that, I wanted like these germinate. I had 4, was it? I've got 4 of these. Well, they're like a foot long. So that's taking up nearly the kitchen table to begin with. You know what I mean? So...
Well, this comes back to what I was saying is the experience and knowledge of knowing the temperature or the temperature range each will germinate in, because I only use the propagators just to get the seeds going. And once they're going, they're off and away from the propagators onto a cooler bench in the greenhouse. And then I take them down to the allotments into one tunnel. Then they go into another tunnel. Then they get planted out. But I've got this thing that I've done this for years now. So I know how to do it. So my seeds hopefully germinate the quickest I can get them to germinate, and then get them moved on as quickly as I can.
Well, I was watching one of your videos, and it's kind of spurred me on to kind of, not just, because I think each time I've used this kind of potting the propagators, I've left them in there, like things that didn't need to be in there. Do you know what I mean? So they're kind of, it's all up there now in the polytunnel, and at the moment, apparently we're going to get some snow, I think, soon. It's going to be a bit nasty, the weather coming for us. But I'll just like fleece to hell and back. But there's nothing there that would kind of I don't think damage. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm probably more will damage it than the weather will damage it. You know what I mean?
See, I mean, I'll leave all my peppers, chili peppers, aubergines, tomatoes. They'll all stay on the beast propagator until probably near enough the end of April, and they'll carry on growing in there. And only when I got a clear window of forecast for the next 2 weeks of good temperatures will I then take them to the allotments. Then I'll keep my eye on the weather. If anything starts to drop in the temperatures, I'll just fetch them home and they'll sit in the kitchen overnight. And I've done this before where I've taken to the allotments in the morning and then brought them back in the evening. Just taking them out for the day.
I think it's a good thing. Audrey, are you kind of plagued? I mean, it's easier for you in some respect that it's just your garden. You can just kind of in out if it's too bad, or is it something that?
Well, it's still a pain in the neck if you have to take, because I have a lot of trays too. So it's it's half an hour, 45 minutes to pull everything in and out. But yes, I think it is easier because I don't have to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I just open my back door.
Let's see if we've got any more.
I've just seen a nice tip there from JB about pests. Naturally, JB there saying about pests and to keep your eye on it because of the mild spring. Pests are really taking over, and he's not wrong. I've had problems with slugs at the start of this year. Lost one batch of sweet peas to them, and I had some scabious growing, and they've taken half the tray of those as well. So yeah, keep your eye out for the pests at the minute. They're rife at the minute.
It's funny enough.
Normally the cold temperatures just kill them off outright, but not this year.
Well, like I said, I was going to talk about the weather. I've heard that it was the weekend's been blisteringly hot here to the point where I was like opening the polytunnel up, and I don't normally, and I leave the door open through the day and sometimes through the night, but I was going back in the evening to close it because it's like too hot in the polytunnel. Do you know what I mean? Like bloody March.
Yeah. Well, I was doing a bit of work in my main tunnel the other day, and I got a sweat on. I thought, what is this stuff on my brow? I wasn't used to that. Too hot.
Audrey,
I saw a question. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, what's your weather like this weekend or last weekend? Has it been all right?
No, the days have been nice but cold. It's very sunny today, but it's 27 degrees, which I know is negative something Celsius for you guys. But last night we were -9 Celsius, and tonight we're going to be -8.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's cold.
No, it's clear and beautiful, but it's cold.
Yeah.
I've just got there's a tip here from Adam Heath, who's saying he recharges last year's compost with well-rotted horse manure. Do you ever do? Well, I suppose
I do that every year because my potato pots, the compost, they last me 5 years. Just a handful of blood, fish, and bone, and it's weighing off and running again. Brilliant.
Yeah. I suppose we all do that kind of when you think about it.
I saw a question from a Jason B.
Right.
Who wondered if it was too early to plant corn, or is there still time to plant corn? And I just want to say it's kind of early.
Mm-hmm. Unless you've got an indoor propagator, I mean, it'll just get knocked, won't it? You know what I mean? If you kind of bring it out, because it'll probably look lovely, and like bringing it on, and then all of a sudden you take it up to your garden, and then all of a sudden,
I think
the frost will just kind of
hot weather. Yep.
And it grows so quick as well. There's no real benefit to trying to sow that early.
Yep.
Got a little question here. Own my bit. Can you two do videos on what seeds to buy now, ready for next month, please? So we can kind of talk about that there now. So next month, April. Audrey, what seeds would you recommend, folks?
For me, I would start my melons and my squash, things that you don't want to be like my cucumbers, things like that. I would start in April, just a couple weeks before they need to go out, because they don't always like their roots being disturbed. So I don't start those way ahead of time.
Are you, when you say it, you're putting your cucumber just outside, growing it outside?
No, I start everything, almost everything inside.
Yeah, but you're taking it out. There's no like protection. What? It's just growing in the open.
And again, I monitor what my soil temp is and what the nighttime temps are. I don't take out warm weather stuff until my nighttime temps are consistently 50 degrees.
See, I've tried a couple of times to bring cucumbers outside, like to grow them outside, and I've seen like a couple of videos, YouTubers doing it, but it just turn like they just die
don't
off.
work.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we have a colder winter and I think we have a hotter summer. So I don't grow anything inside. Like the whole concept of inside tomatoes and inside eggplant, that was new to me.
Wow.
Because I thought, they grow like weeds outside because we have such heat.
Well, I want to do one of our live things is try and get, and it might be you, Audrey, might be able to kind of take a break then, but try and do like a polytunnel special and bring on
Sure.
like someone from like a polytunnel company, and me and Steve can ask questions and do
Yep.
and have like a polytunnel special.
That'd be cool.
Any more tips for Steve, what are you going to be growing, like say in April, or planting out, or sowing in April? What seeds?
Very similar to Audrey's, to be honest. I mean, I know a lot of people are sowing cucumbers now, but I just think it's too early, and I believe
I've got 5 pots.
it's one of those crops. If the temperature's right, they get away anyway really quick. So you're not really gaining anything from growing them early. But yeah, be all those things. So courgettes or zucchini, cucumbers, possibly melons, my butternut squashes, but they will be towards the end of April.
Yep.
When I sow those. Oh, and a few more tomatoes. I've got these tomato seeds here that Audrey kindly sent me. So
Black strawberry ones. Oh, he's got the bloody black strawberry ones as well. What's them ones? Oh, you've got. Wow. So
they're the ones I'll send you a plant of them when they come up.
Have you still got what's the date, Stephen? Are we not too late for sowing tomato seeds?
No.
You sow them. You sow the buggers just for an experiment in October, though. So I can't remember because I did that, didn't I? Last 2 years ago or something. I planted some seed and I got some. I didn't get an amazing crop, but I'm sure it was like the 18th of April. I still got a good crop. You know what I mean? From sowing then. So you must be the kind of first 2 weeks in April, and then that's it.
No, you can sow them in May. You can sow tomatoes in May and get a good crop, because once the temperature's right for these plants, they just run away and romp away.
Yeah, but you're not going to over here, which is actually where directly, I guess me and you are directly horizontal on the English kind of mainland. You'll lose your light in October, so they'll not ripen unless you're going to take them home.
They'll all be done by then. They'll all be done.
I don't think he's in Cockermouth. I think he's in Guernsey or somewhere.
You saw me plot. You measured me plot, and I was there waving at you.
Jenny Hurlett saying Sun Gold are lovely. I keep always forgetting the name. But you, Audrey, sent me some seeds. Sugar Crush? Was it Sugar?
I think it was Sun
Crush.
Honey something.
But
and I'm growing some again this year.
Aye, well, they were lovely, to be honest, and they were
Gold. No, the Sun Gold. I'm going back to Sun Gold this year.
Right.
I know they split, but they are so good.
Yeah, they are.
There's
very
just
nice.
nothing like those. Yeah.
Or Naturally, B was asking about the white rat because it's still on his plot and it's really horrible. You kind of get rid of it. I'll just give up and just kind of.
Well, the white rot, I think it goes after. It's somewhere around 10 or 20 years. Your plot's meant to be clear of it.
Oh my word, that's a long time.
Oh, I know. Amelia's saying put garlic powder down when the onions are out of the bed. White rot thinks, like it's like almost tricking the white rot.
Oh.
I wonder if it works though. Do you know what I mean? I wonder if that kind of actually works because it might not. You know what I mean? It's like a long time to wait to see if it does actually. Excuse me, come through. If you go, Tara's asking if you.
I know some people have actually imported topsoil. They will physically dig out a bed, move that soil out, put imported topsoil in, and then just be very careful. And they can successfully grow onions. You could probably do the same with manure or compost. A small bed.
That would be such a faff, really, when you think about it, because especially if you're going, like, say, the no dig route, because you've got to bring in your own compost to feed it every year. So it's almost like, what do you do? Do you just buy like a few bags of compost each year and just put that on the top? And
just
so
what
exactly is white rot?
Have you not? I love this. Audrey, you just seem to you must be in garden heaven. That nothing, you can sow tomatoes in winter. You've never had white rot.
I've never had white rot, but I'm just wondering I've seen it, and I've seen it on Naturally JB's channel as he pulled up his onions. But what causes that? And if it lasts in the ground for 20 years, my goodness, what is that? Is it like a club root kind of virus?
It's a fungus, isn't it? Or
I would think so. I'll be honest with you. I don't really know. But yeah, it's rot. It must be a fungus. But yeah, it comes up. You can actually see. Well, if you see it at the right time, you'll see that it is white. Quite often, though, you'll just see mushy onion, don't you?
Up. It's horrible. I wonder if you use like a micro rhizal powder, if that would introduce another fungus that might, I don't know.
Well, that's outside the box thinking. I don't know.
Yeah, I use that a lot. And maybe, I don't know. Is that maybe why I don't know. But I might try that. When you plant your onion, put some mycorrhizal on the root and some in the hole.
Yeah,
and see if maybe it might be worth trying. It's definitely introducing another fungus, so I don't know.
Jamie Baker's asking, you've got me sweet peppers under growing lights. They've got 6 leaves on. When should I plant them on?
When they're too big for the pots. When the roots are coming out the bottom of a pot, that's the time to pot on at all times.
Yep.
But certainly not take them up to
any I wouldn't take them anywhere.
A garden or anything.
No, put them on a heat mat. Yeah.
Essex Homestead saying he sows his celery and celeriac on a Super 7 electric windowsill propagator in sieve compost water and heat the compost for a day on the propagator. Oh, then sow on top compost and cover with vermiculite.
It's the same as I do in early years. You always see my bag of compost on the beast warming up, and then from there you put in seeds into warmed compost. And it's the same now. If you look at today's video, I've got bottles in the corner of my beast propagator. That's so the water that I'm watering with is the same temperature as the plants. So no shocks there.
Audrey, are you as careful and as considerate to your seedlings as that, or?
Yes, I am. But what I would do, and I'm anxious to see if this boiling water works that I got from Steve last week, and if my celeriac comes up better with that. But I think it's the whole thing. You're putting it into a warm situation, and you're keeping it warm.
Yeah, definitely. It does help.
Oh, yeah.
Tal Stewart's asking, When should you sow sweet corn? What? Because Tal's, I guess, in UK. Steve, what particular day, if you could choose one, would you sow your sweet corn?
Oh God, I would say the sweet corn for me would go in probably the last 2 weeks in April. And what I'm always looking for with sowing is a window. I'm not just looking at that week's temperature. So I'm sowing seeds now, even though it's cold tomorrow night and the next couple of nights. I'm looking for a week, 10 days ahead, and I'm looking for favorable temperatures then. That way, then I know that there'll be no shocks to my propagator. So if my propagator is now maintaining 25 degrees, but we get a frost, that might knock it down to 15 and 16 degrees. And if I've got seeds in there that are just emerging, that can mess it up. So I'm always looking for sowing windows of a couple of weeks of steady, reasonable temperatures.
But have you not got, Steve? I thought I'd seen like a little kind of ambient heater in there as well, so it's trying to lift the floor temperature up if it gets too hot, cold.
It is a little heater. It's just a frost heater. It's just in case we get a frost, and it only kicks in when we do get a frost. So it won't heat above 1 degree.
Right.
By then it's turned off.
Right.
It's only when the temperature drops so much that it just kicks in just to keep the chill off the place.
So that means then, sorry to go back to this, it's trying to get my head around. The wires and the heat tray, that's just providing all the heat that the plants need.
Yes.
Right. So is this a kit, this wire?
It's a soil cable, and you plug it into a thermostat, and you plug the thermostat into the mains. You set the thermostat, and that soil warming cable will just stay heating until it reaches the temperature you set on the thermostat. That's why it's better than a propagator, because propagators tend to work between a range, and as you said, it will only work within a range with the ambient heat that's already in the room. They rely on that a little bit. It's totally different with the soil warming cable. It would just keep on heating until it gets there. And if it never gets there, it'll never switch off.
Oh, some good advice here. There's some good advice on today's show, eh? Bloody hell. Right, the allotment newbie is saying it'd be cool to do a live where people send in their pictures of allotments. Love seeing all the different ideas. That would be nice as well. Should get, I mean, that's basically down to me to try and program them all in to show everybody as well, mind you, but you know what I mean. Jane Kelly's saying she's not sowing her tomatoes for another couple of weeks. Man, I couldn't take a chance. Couldn't take a chance. And
when I was a kid, we never used to sow anything until May. Nothing. We just didn't do it. We didn't have greenhouses. We didn't have propagators. We didn't even have compost. We had homemade compost, and we'd make up our own, like the Americans do. And Audrey will know this, like make up their own potting mix. We did the same thing. We didn't know about compost unless we made it ourselves.
I'm interested to find out off air, Stephen, who this compost company is. See who you kind of wheeling and dealing with.
It's not a compost company. I say it's totally out. It's out there. It really is. But
let's just see. Grown local. Ian's asking any tips on an early corn variety from the grow up in Scotland. Now, Steve, did you say Incredible
F1?
What was that?
Incredible F1 or F1 Incredible.
I've got some of them. I remember you saying, and I ordered them this time, and because last year when you mentioned they were out of stock, so I got in early. So Incredible F1.
Yeah, yeah, they're a brilliant one.
Audrey, what?
Swift is another good one as well, but I haven't grown that for not since I found Incredible. I haven't gone back to Swift.
Audrey, what do you sow over there? In Garden Disney World.
Oh, you're hilarious. Okay. I have grown a couple that are 80-day harvest, which is pretty good for a sweet corn. But this year, I'm just going to grow a popcorn.
Oh, right.
because I don't think it. You just let it dry on the husk, and I think we use more popcorn than actual corn. So that's what all I'm doing this year.
I never thought of doing that. I might have a look at that.
Oh, I've done it a couple of years, and it's wonderful, and it doesn't need as much fussing because your goal is to let it dry right in the husk.
It's just
So
it's land for me, but I'll write that down. Pop. I wonder what varieties we can get over here. Mark Shaw's asking, any tips on how to get rid of whitefly? Stephen,
That's what I use the Tajits for. That's what I
right?
grow them for, to deter those.
So,
And I've got a whole forest of them growing.
I guess you're planting them outside as well, all those everywhere.
Wherever I can find space, because I say I've you know me and seeds. I'll look at the compost, I'll look at the seed and thought, yeah. Seeds are cheap, they're 99p a packet. But I'll put them all in, and now they've all grown up, and I've got to deal with them.
Well, it's funny because last week we talked about I got some, and they're away, mind you. They're not quick germinating. You know what I mean?
Good.
They're not a celeriac. They germinate like bang. Hey, they're like bloody kiddie school germination. They're just straight away for me. Audrey, have you got any tips for white rot? Not white rot. What was it again? White fly.
Oh, we don't have whitefly here. No, okay, I'm kidding. All right, I'm kidding. I figured you would do that. Yes, we do. I've used a low solution of BT. I've done it. Yes, Bacillus thuringiensis. Yes.
Good lass. I was going to ask you what it was. What's it stand for, Audrey?
Bacillus thuringiensis.
Yes, well done, lass.
Okay, I've done that. I've also done I've added a little bit of dish soap to water and squirted it with that. I'll try a few things depending on what gets a response, but BT is usually my go-to.
Mm-hmm. I've used that for the brassicas of mine, and it seems to work, to be honest. Growit's asking, does anyone have any tips for keeping squirrels off sweet corn? To be honest, I would hold my hands up and just
squirrels are the worst.
I don't think
the worst.
No.
I would put some chicken wire around it, although they can climb it. They can't get into it. I have also put netted bags that I get off of Amazon over the corn once I think it's been fertilized. But yeah, no, squirrels are the nemesis of the garden. They're horrid.
I think you need a shotgun.
Well, I watched there's a YouTube video where Mark Rober, a YouTuber, makes a squirrel run, and it's an obstacle course for them. And at the end of this, and I mean, it's got about 90 million views. Every time they they eventually work out all these crazy obstacles that he's put in front of them to stop them getting there. Yeah. And they're complicated, but every one of them eventually works out how to get, you know what I mean? So it's
next to nigh impossible.
Actually, talking about squirrels there, Pat Joyce is saying, the rats on our site now come and smile and watch me from about 6 feet. What can you do about rats?
Oh, get a terrier. Well, I mean, we've had problems on our plot, and we now, all our sheds are raised up off the ground. As long as a terrier can get underneath it, it should keep rats away. But we have got one or two on our site.
Right. Damn rabbits saying clear mines for squirrels.
Yeah.
Right. Well, let's have a look. Dave Watson saying, last question, I think. Steve, do you top your peppers or just let them grow on? Now, just me personally, I let them just go, you know what I mean, as much as I can. I've had 2 years of bad peppers, chili peppers, this last 2 years, but I don't touch them.
Well, I've always pruned my peppers in a set way, And then for some reason, 2 years ago and last year, I decided to try another way because you know what it's like. You read about something, you think, oh, I must try that. And I had to go and it didn't work for me. So this year, I was just telling somebody yesterday about this, that I'm going back to the old way. As a pepper plant comes up, it generally divides into two. And what you do on the first pruning is you prune that one branch out. This one carries up growing and goes into two, and then you prune this one away, so that you end up with a staggered 1 leader pepper, and you can tie that into a cane, and you'll find that that will ripen your peppers better, and you'll get bigger peppers as well.
And is
But I'll
that
be showing that.
what was that, Steve?
I'll be showing that on video as I do it this year.
So it's another thing with peppers for me. I all okay chilies, but I find I cannot really drag peppers to the fruit stage. I get a lot of green, which is, I like a green pepper for like a spag bol, or you know what I mean? I like a bit of a bite. But it would be nice to kind of have, you go to Aldi or a supermarket and they've got the mother chucker peppers that are that big, that are perfect, and you're thinking, it's obviously under greenhouse, you know what I mean? It's like so much like artificial conditions probably to get them like that, but it would be nice to bring home. Audrey, I'm guessing you don't have any trouble with peppers.
Okay.
That's the last time out.
Okay, I kind of don't, but I have in the past topped my chili peppers, or the chilies, I guess you call them, because hot peppers will grow into two. If you cut out the center one, they'll start into two. But the peppers are smaller, and I don't think they're as well developed. So this year, I'm not topping any of my peppers. I'm just going to see what they do. I just want to see what does a regular pepper produce. But I have very good luck with peppers. Very good luck.
Honestly, there must be, because I always thought we were kind of similar, Audrey, like say temperature-wise, but your summers must just have that little edge to like.
I think I know you get kind of warm over there, but I think we are warmer for longer. Because I get a lot of ripe peppers. I don't have problems ripening. But I give them fish fertilizer every 2 weeks. That's about it. Mycorrhizal when they get planted, and fish fertilizer.
Well, I think we have been on an hour and 8 minutes. So
wow.
Yes, time flies. To be honest, it's like I love talking because it's just like I could chat longer and longer because it's just like it's chatting with mates about gardening. Do you know what I mean? That's the kind of, you know. And
I've just seen Tony O'Neill dropping in there as well.
Oh, right. Oh. Yeah, one of the grandmasters. Come on, oh, Tony, there. Actually, he's giving advice as well. Oh, nice to see the old boy, the old fella there. So, we are off then. Audrey, where can we find your YouTube channel? Everybody, listen to this now.
Real Food Comes Dirty.
On YouTube.
There we go.
On YouTube, yes.
Please subscribe to Audrey. Have a look, and then we'll get Audrey back next week, and we'll all just, because there will be more than one video when we see each other next week, Audrey.
There will be, and you can critique. Yes.
We want to see her riding out of her house on a unicorn underneath the rainbow and seeing this wonderful garden.
You will be sorely disappointed. Okay.
Oh, shucks.
Steve, what are you up to? Where can we find you? What are you up to next week?
More of the same of what I've done today. I've got some more flower seeds to sow for this month, for March. That'll be coming up in a couple of days.
What I'm going to write them down. What you're sowing?
Oh, you're kidding, aren't you?
Oh, you've got that many. All right.
Yes.
You'll need a loo roll to write them down.
Well, no, it's all right then. I'll catch you. Well, you can tell us later. There, I'll put them. If there's a video, we'll watch your video. That'll be.
Yeah, that'll be coming in a few days. And then it's back onto the beds, finishing them off at the back and getting them filled up.
Well, I've got a video coming out, Steve, in... will it go out tomorrow? I'm not 100% sure, but I thought you were doing your beds today. And I dedicated my little... Because I've been, like, topping my beds with, like, compost. And
Oh.
I was expecting you to kind of be like bent double crippled, like after putting loads
my
of
back.
work in. And I had like 3 beds to do, and I brushed one of them to get it like a billiard table smooth. And I was thinking, Steve will be like, just get the wheelbarrow tip for the 100th time. And I was like, I'll just brush that one, get it, there we go, one bed at a time there. So
Bless your heart.
so everybody, thank you very much for turning up. It's been a blast. Audrey, thank you so much.
Thank
Hopefully
you.
I can see you again next week, next Monday.
Okay.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Stephen, thank you so much. Always a pleasure, never
You're
a
welcome.
chore.
Nice to see everybody there. Thanks for turning
Yes.
up. And nice
So
to
don't
speak to you
forget,
both
Thank you,
again.
subscribe to
Yes.
both these folks' channels, especially Audrey. Stephen doesn't need it now. He's away. He's bloody going to overtake me now. But definitely Audrey. Go and say hello to Audrey and drop some comments. She's got some fantastic
Thank you.
ideas with amazing, easy bloody gardening. The perfect
no.
gardening weather. Look after yourselves. Take good care. See you
Bye-bye.
later.
Cheers,
Toodle
now.
pip.